What's up, everybody? This is your local realtor right here in Florida, Betty Garza with EXP Realty. And today we are going to be discussing the pros and cons of living in Wellington, Florida. And we're getting at it right here. Okay, so the pros and cons of living in Wellington, Florida, and I promise that you're going to want to stay tuned right to the end because the last con of living in Wellington, Florida is probably the most important, especially if you're relocating from a different area. But on this channel, I let you know everything there is to know about relocating, living, eating, sleeping, playing, working right here in South Florida. So if that is the information you're looking for, you are welcome to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because you want to be notified every time I post a new video, which is weekly. And also it helps get this content out to other people just like you that are looking for information about living and eating and sleeping and relocating to Florida from other areas, or even just relocating within this city, within these county. You know, people aren't familiar with everything there is around here, so this channel definitely helps you with that. And so there is a link in the description if you want to set up a one-on-one. If there's something I don't touch base in this video or any of my other videos, you click that link, you set up a one-on-one with me, and we chit chat about what it is you're looking for or any other questions that you have. Okay, so let's get to it. The pros and cons of living in Wellington, Florida. My first pro is the area. Area, location. Wellington is definitely an amazing city. It is very suburban. It's on the west coast of our county. There are other cities that are a little bit more west of Wellington, but Wellington is just before you get to Loxahatchee and Westlake, but it is on the west side of 441. 441 SR7 is one of the main roads that we use here to get from city to city, area to area. As you can see right here on this map, SR7, 441 does go a long ways, but Wellington is just west of there. And okay, so what is so great about Wellington and the area location? Wellington consists of a lot of neighborhoods that don't necessarily have your association fees. So they may not be gated. They do have larger lots, not necessarily your zero lot line where your neighbor is right on top of you. There is a lot of different types of properties to choose right here in Wellington. And also within the area, within this location, there is a lot to do, such as shopping. There's a lot of local shopping. Wellington consists of one of the best shopping malls that we have here in the area in Palm Beach County. It's got stores like, you know, your Fit to Run, which is your running shoe store, Apple. It's got a theater located within the shopping mall. It's got Macy's, it's got Dillard's, it has different shops within like Yankee Candle, your icing, and it's got 2 levels of stores. So there's so much to look within this mall. There's little, you know, shops like boutiques also within this mall, not necessarily just your big stores like Macy's. And it also includes some different restaurants within. California Pizza Kitchen, Lemongrass, you know, it's got a lot of different restaurants that you can choose from. So you can make an entire day of shopping and then having lunch and then continue with your shopping. They also have a huge food court of different restaurants that you can choose from too. And not only within the mall, but there's also a lot of commerce outside of the mall. They have, you know, Whole Foods, they have Trader Joe's, they have barber shops, other boutique shopping that's available just outside the mall. And this is kind of located centrally in Wellington between the north and south side. So, you know, it's a very short drive within whatever area you live in Wellington. But also, if you're an association type of homeowner and you want those gated communities or the privacy, Wellington has those as well. And it has also equestrian types of, you know, neighborhoods. So I actually did a video recently of an amazing home that included barns with stables and different, you know, separate apartment quarters, whether it's for rental property or maybe a family coming into town, or if it's staff or, you know, the polo riders that come in to race those horses can stay in there as well. That was a gated community called the Equestrian Club Great neighborhood, because one side of the neighborhood was actual residential homes that don't have such big lots. And then on the other half of the neighborhood, it was your equestrian homes. This specific home was located on 2.5 acres. It had a racing training area also for the horses, just absolutely beautiful. And a little deeper into Wellington, you also have your mansion, larger homes that are located in there. So Wellington definitely is its own kind of city and very suburban. It's just a really great neighborhood. So if you're considering a different part of Florida or a different part of Palm Beach County, Wellington's definitely somewhere where you want to visit, get a feel for it, and see if it's something that you would be interested in. Okay, con number 1 of Wellington, Florida is the traffic. So Wellington is a very large city, as you can see right here on the map, and it's in between that Loxahatchee, Westlake area, which is new, up and coming and growing. Also consists of some of your older homes as well. And also it's west of your big cities like West Palm Beach, north and west of Delray Beach, and of course Lake Worth Beach. So it's its own little city. And Wellington has a seasonal kind of equestrian, very popular time of the year, which is in between November and April. And within this time, traffic is a headache. And not only within that equestrian polo season, it's also the holidays. So you get a lot of people that are visiting from out of town. And so you get on the road different kinds of drivers, and going west, if you live all the way on the east side of this county, whether it's to go to the mall or maybe have a dinner out there or visit with family, you will hit traffic. So definitely plan a little bit ahead. Type in that address right into your map, figure out an ETA, figure out how long it's gonna take you to get there, because you definitely wanna hit the road with a clear mind, because you will hit this traffic during this time, which is a real bummer. I mentioned that main road of 441 SR7, which is, 3 lanes open to each side, which way back when it wasn't like that. It was like literally 1 way north, 1 lane south. But now they've expanded it because the population has grown out there. But for the most part within Wellington, you're really only gonna have like a 2-lane traffic each way. You don't have really big wide roads. So definitely planning ahead and making sure you have that time to allot for the traffic that you will hit during this time, especially, you definitely want to do that so it's not such a headache. But traffic is definitely a con for this area. Just making sure you plan ahead is something you definitely want to do. And also, Wellington Mall is one of the closest mall to me. I probably on a good day live about 7 minutes, 8 minutes east of there. And during this time, especially during the holiday season, first of all, shopping during the holiday season is insane anyways, but I'm one of those people where I at least have a handful of people that I kind of left for last minute shopping, or maybe I didn't find anything before. And going to the Wellington Mall is a must. And I usually try to do it like in the morning time, but sometimes you have those days where you really just don't feel like waking up early. And I think that the mall doesn't even open till about 10 o'clock anyways. So how early can you go? And I'm sure I'm not the only local that's kind of looking to do last minute shopping. But yeah, so Wellington is like one of the best malls that we have here locally, and it's the closest to me, so that's usually the mall I have to go to. The good news is they have a huge parking lot. It is 2 stories, so sometimes with certain stores you have a parking either upstairs or downstairs, and they have the escalators in there, so you're not, working too hard to get up and downstairs. But I definitely had to point that out, is that traffic in Wellington is definitely a con. Pro number 2, living in Wellington, Florida, is the schools. So you can find this information right online, niche.com, greatschools.org. You can see that the schools in Wellington are A-rated. You can see percentages of all kinds of different statistics on there and really figure out exactly what you're looking for. Also, if you don't necessarily live in Wellington, the good news about our schools as well is that they have something called a choice program. You have to, apply to it, and it's kind of like a lottery of getting chosen or not. I'm personally going through this. Right now we're in the month of November 2022. So my son will be going to middle school next year. I know, don't even remind me. I'm not looking forward to that for all you moms out there. But so we have a choice program where you can apply to the following year. So I'm applying for the 2023, and I'm actually wanting for him to go to a middle school in Wellington, because also with the choice program, the reason why they do this is because a lot of the local schools are considered like a magnet school. They have different programs that they offer. So this specific middle school in Wellington has a tech program that the kids can join and explore and really figure out, because we all know we get to, high school, college, and we don't always know what we want to do. So I feel like the early exposure of this can really help our kids kind of make that choice with where they want to be in life. So this specific school has a tech, program within it. So I'd really like for him to go there, but I'm not necessarily zoned for that school. So the choice program, that lottery, is definitely something you want to take advantage of. You could find that right online with, the Palm Beach Schools.org, I believe it is. And right in there, you can apply right online. They have an entire list of every school in Palm Beach County with, when you click on the little link, there's the programs that it has in it. But if you live within Wellington, of course, you don't have to worry about doing the choice program because you are then zoned within that school. So you automatically can go. So just know that the schools within Wellington are A-rated. There are different reviews that you'll find online, some good, some bad, but that's just like anything else, right? But definitely a lot of people are reaching out. They call us, they text us, they email us, and their questions are about the schools. Just so you know, you can go right online and see that the school system or the public schools within Wellington are A-rated, and they do have a lot to offer. So if, finding a good school is something that's important to you, Wellington is definitely the city for you. So remember, guys, if you're finding this information useful, if you have any questions, send us a text, send us an email, send us a pigeon carrier, smoke signal. I don't care. Just do whatever it takes to get a hold of us. Our team definitely specializes with people relocating right here to Florida. Okay, so con number 2, which is actually one of the pros, is location. Wellington, Florida is definitely a suburban feel to the area. It is west. And even though they offer a lot of different things, the location of Wellington, Florida, also, if you're someone that's looking for things to maybe like the nightlife, or if you need to be located close to an airport because you travel a lot, whether it's for work or personal reasons, Wellington, as far as location to those things, is definitely a con. So Wellington does not offer a lot of nightlife things. They do have local restaurants, some franchise and some, mom and pops. They offer a lot of different festivities, but nightlife is definitely not one of them. You'll probably find some bars that stay open a little longer, or maybe a lounge of some sort. But as far as like clubs and things like that, if you're someone that's looking for that kind of lifestyle, Wellington really does not offer that. They have like an amphitheater and things like that for different festivities, but as far as any kind of nightlife, Wellington's definitely not the spot for you. The closest nightlife really area is downtown West Palm Beach. They do have Rosemary Square, and they also have Clematis. This drive is probably within season. It might take you a little longer, maybe about 40 minutes, but outside of season, it's about a 30-minute drive. You just kind of head just north of Wellington, and then you head east. So it's not too far a drive. I think that 30 minutes is not horrible. I know that some people come from areas where, really like shopping and groceries and things like that are about a 30-40 minute drive. If you're one that's looking, maybe it's when you have family in town, like the season is coming up, the holiday season, and you're gonna have family in town, just know that if Wellington is somewhere you're moving for the schools or the suburban feel, the larger homes, the larger lots, things like that, just know that downtown is not too far of a drive, but it's close enough to get to. So the nightlife is definitely not something that's located in Wellington, but not too far of a drive. Downtown West Palm Beach has Clematis, which offers a plethora of nightlife, bars, lounges, everything you can think of, and restaurants, places you can eat. And also Rosemary Square, which has shopping, big restaurants like the Cheesecake Factory, Bistro. They have a lot of different areas there as well. Parking is either metered or they have garages you can park in, and you pay at the end. Once you leave, you just take a little ticket with you. In some places will actually verify it for you, and sometimes it's free. I think throughout the day there's a little bit of a difference with parking, but definitely you have to pay for it at night. There's also apartment living down there, downtown living area, but as far as being with Wellington, it's not too far. Clematis is definitely somewhere where I used to hang out when I was in my early 20s, but you know, we always had to have somebody who wasn't hanging out and was responsible and drove home. But now you have Uber and things like that that you can do, even if it's brunch that you want to go to on a Sunday fun day. That's definitely about a 30-minute drive for you if you are in Wellington. And then the other closest area would probably be maybe like the newer areas like West Boynton Beach, in Delray, where they opened up, you know, little downtown areas with restaurants as well and some lounges. And downtown West Delray has a theater, bowling alley, super fun. Or you can head east to downtown Delray, and that's probably going to be about a 45-minute drive, especially with traffic. But again, they have a plethora of nightlife and clubs and bars and things like that, if that's what you're looking for. So that was con number 2, is location as far as to nightlife and things like that. All right, so we're getting there, guys. Pro number 3 of living in Wellington, Florida is event. I know I just talked about how it doesn't have nightlife and things like that, but Wellington does offer different festivities. They have an amphitheater where they'll have like live music, especially with the holidays coming up. They're gonna have things for Christmas. They had things for Halloween, Thanksgiving, pumpkin patch. You know, I know that they usually do tribute bands, so live music on the weekends. There's always something going on in Wellington. You just they have a calendar that you can look up online and just kind of like plan your weekend. If you have nothing going on, go online, look it up. I'm sure there's always something going on. And Wellington is considered the winter equestrian location area of the world, okay? Remember, November to April is your polo season, okay? So they have competitions and races every weekend starting in January. So in January, you'll find most people, especially if they're into horses, they're into events, they want to get out. I know that every Sunday, the 3 o'clock races are open to the public. And otherwise, you're a member, you know what's going on, you're in it to win it. But from January to March, it's every weekend where these events are going on. So if polo and the horse races and stuff like that is for you, you'll definitely want to look that up. But I know that on Sundays it's open to the public. Even if you don't live in Wellington, you can attend these events, and it makes for a great like social hangout. And like I said, a Sunday fun day. They have food, they have drinks, they have everything there. I know I want to try it, you know, next year. I've never been, even though I grew up here in Palm Beach County, I've never been to a polo race, but I recently went to an open house and I was talking to the local realtor, and she just sold me on it. She just made it sound like so much fun. She says that she used to ride when she was younger, but she never did polo. She's like, polo is crazy. So it sounds like a real like adrenaline rush, and people are like flying off their horses and stuff. I don't know, I'll check it out. Maybe in another video I'll let you know how it goes, but it definitely sounds like fun. You know, have some drinks, have a brunch, you know, whatever it is, a Sunday fun day. It sounds like a good time to me, so we'll see. And also in Wellington, they have the Polo National Museum. I hear it's not really like that busy. I visited a while back, but the staff was super nice. They have a lot of things, like you kind of get to know what polo is really about the sport. They have their America's Cup, where they have the cup from hockey, big event that they have. I don't even know what it's called, but it kind of looks like that, and they display it, and you just kind of have, it's a good thing to visit, kind of educate yourself. Nothing to do, stop by the museum. Staff is super nice. They'll take you around, they'll show you, they'll answer your questions. But yeah, they have that museum there. And I just feel like there's a lot of different events, a lot of things to do within Wellington. So if you don't want to take those 30-minute drives to other cities or downtown areas, you kind of just want to stay local, there's always something going on in Wellington. Okay, so the last con, I told you to stay tuned for this one because it was gonna be a good one, is the homeowners insurance. So within Wellington, Wellington doesn't have a lot of new construction going on within it. A lot of the areas in Wellington are already developed, and so it includes a lot of older homes. Now, depending with the current owner and what they've done for the home, when was the last time they replaced the roof, the windows, the electric, things like that are really going to determine how much you pay for homeowners insurance. But usually it's going to be a little bit more on the expensive side compared to a new construction home because of the age. So the insurance can be a little bit more expensive in this area because they are older homes, and depending on those upgrades, you want to make sure that the homes you're looking at definitely have, because hello, it's Florida, so we do get hurricanes. You want to make sure that it has some kind of hurricane protection, whether it's accordion shutters, the aluminum shutters that you put up, maybe impact windows, hurricane impact windows, a newer roof, because insurance, a lot of the big insurance companies kind of left Florida, because of all the cases and claims and stuff that we get here during hurricane season. Sometimes that can be a little bit more on the expensive side when you're working with a resale or an older home. But, as your realtor, we look at all that stuff. You definitely have the inspection done. We discuss those things. Your inspector will look at, how was the roof installed, different, pinpoint items that give you the discount for your homeowner's insurance. But definitely just know that insurance might be a little bit on the higher side within Wellington because you are dealing with older homes. So definitely keep that in mind. But that's a discussion that we have within each other, with your lender if you're doing financing, or we can shop for insurances during your first 7 to 10 days, which you have the inspection period here, with that contract. Even though that's the con that I wanted to talk about, it's definitely something you can work through or get some real numbers and really get a feel of what that's gonna cost you. All right, guys, so those are my pros and cons of living in Wellington, Florida. If you found this information useful, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so that it helps get these, the YouTube algorithm just changed recently, but that will help get this information out to other people just like yourself looking for everything there is to know about relocating here to South Florida. And I've got your back when doing that. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.